Okay. Alright, what's up you guys? I'm here at Montreal Comic Con and I'm with the legendary Jim Starlin, the creator of Thanos. He revamped Gamora, he created Drax and Gamora, and it's a huge honor to meet you, sir.
That's the most enthusiastic introduction I think I've ever had.
So, my first question is, what are your thoughts on Marvel dumbing down Drax's powers? You know, he used to have a lot of, he used to shoot energy beams, but he kind of just, they dumbed him down to a bit of a muscle brute.
Well, that was after I got done with Marvel and they sort of did things on their own. And, I think I actually like the new costume. He's a new look better. But I do wish he was more powerful than what he should be. But I'm done with Marvel, so they get to go off and do whatever they want.
And what can you tell me how did you come up with the idea of having Thanos support the embodiment of death?
That came on by accident. I was doing the second issue of Captain Marvel, and it was the introduction of exposing that it is Thanos who's the bad guy, and I had sketched in two figures behind him. One of them was the Skrull that was in the story. I had no idea who the other one was until I finished all the other pages, and I thought, let's just make it a real figure, and then sort of a male figure in that particular issue. The second issue appeared. I busted her up a bit until she became female, and sort of did a Sam and Diane from Cheers kind of thing. I figured we needed a love interest.
Did you like Aubrey Plaza's portrayal in Agatha?
Yes, and I particularly got a kick out of the credits at the end. It said death created by Jim Starlin, in which case I got online and apologized.
Oh no, he's gonna kill me now. So what was the creative process like when you created Shang-Chi and implementing Fu Manchu, who obviously is an Asian, Fu Manchu embodies the Asian stereotypes.
Speaking of our big fans of Kung Fu TV shows, first season. And we went over to Warner Brothers, DC, that owned it. They said they didn't want to do it. So we went back over to Marvel, and Marvel said, let's create something new. And Roy Thomas had bought the rights to the Fu Manchu series. I had never read it at the time. We got in there, we sort of got Fu Manchu drafted onto it after we moved out to Shang-Chi character. The first issue came finished, and then Larry Hama, who is Asian, said, have you ever read any of the Fu Manchu books? I went, no. And the next day he brought me one, and I was kind of horrified by what racist shit they did. And so I didn't stay with the book. I really wanted to do Captain Marvel and more like that.
So you were happy with Ed Brubaker retconning him into Zhang Zhu and Marvel changing him into the Mandarin, right?
Yeah. The Fu Manchu books were books of their time. You go back to, say, like some of the James Bond books, the early James Bond books, there's some pretty racist shit in those too. Things change, hopefully to the better. I did the best we could in a short time, and went on from there.
Yeah, and how did you decide which characters would live? Which characters, how did you decide who lives, who dies, who tells your story? Sorry, Hamilton reference in Infinity Gauntlet.
Just sort of picked up half of them. The X-Men editor didn't want us to use any X-Men, so we got limited down to Wolverine and Cyclops, which the editor-in-chief said he had to give us two. Otherwise, it was just I picked the ones I wanted to play with, and the other ones got disappeared.
And was Thanos always planned to be a deviant, or was that a later change?
That was later changed to deviant. I never did anything to do with it.
And was Thanos always planned to be Eros' Star Fox's cousin in the comics, or was that a later change as well?
Did you say that?
Was Thanos always planned to be Star Fox's cousin, or was that a later change?
He's his brother, probably.
Brother, yeah, sorry.
So he was his brother right from the start as Eros. Marvel changed his name to Star Fox. Sexual appeal.
And my final question, did you enjoy the changes Marvel made to Infinity War and Endgame?
Yeah, anything kind, you go from one medium to the other, you got to expect changes. And maybe they weren't the letter of the law, but they were certainly the spirit of it. That's why I was very happy.
Thank you so much for this interview. This was the legendary Jim Starlin.
Take care.
Thank you.